You know what you did? You're gonna have to go to jail for it. Okay?
Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. We're headed to Belle Glade, Florida. This is a small city of about 17,000 people. That's going to be important. Keep that number in mind. 17,000 people. All right, here's what we're dealing with today. We have a case that kind of stands out because it's just a careful planned scheme. A gift card loophole that a store manager pulled off along with several others. And this is all because this store manager rather risk a felony than touch your savings. We're going to jump into this. We'll take a look at the laws at play. But let's watch this video, and at the end, you tell me what you think. Let's jump in.
How you doing, sir? How are you? I'm Jim.
Good.
Walter. Nice to meet you. Come on in. So, what's going on?
Today, we had a situation of a long-term theft that exceeded $5,000, $5,275 exactly. The associate was doing fraudulent refunds, funded it onto a gift card, the gift card to her own personal credit card for her own personal use. So she was taking fraudulent orders and making those orders into refunds. Then we interview her. Once we interviewed her, we admitted to everything that she did.
So, essentially, she was fraudulently issuing refunds onto her own personal gift cards, debit cards, and whatnot?
Correct.
Okay. And it red flagged it, essentially, and then you looked into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. So then when you had that, then you spoke to her, and then that's when she admitted to it in her statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We talked to her in private?
Yep.
All right. So, do you know why we're here? So before going forward, I'm just going to make sure that you are aware of your Miranda warnings. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. Do you understand that? Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand? With those right in mind, are you choosing to speak with me?
Speak, yes.
Okay. We're going to have someone come talk to you that's just a little bit more knowledgeable in these types of...
So, I'm Detective Perillo with Palm County Sheriff's Office. How you doing? You alright? No? Again, this is just an investigation at this point. So let's start fresh.
Can I ask some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys are completely honest?
Are we completely honest? Yeah.
Okay. Would this affect me from having any other job?
This right now is an investigation. You're not under arrest. We're in... Is your office? We're in your office.
I can see so many officers around.
So, just because you see a lot of officers around doesn't mean you're going to jail. Okay? It doesn't mean you're being charged with anything at this point. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. Okay? Okay, so you wrote this voluntary statement.
Yes.
You're the store manager?
Yes.
Refunded soda orders to my debit card. So, somebody comes in, they want to buy a soda, you refunded that money.
Oh no, soda is just the name of our online orders.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay. So somebody makes a purchase online under the soda.
Basically, what happened was we have abandoned orders. And abandoned orders is basically online orders that customers have not picked up. And these were old abandoned orders, so these were like back in like 2021, right?
Okay.
What I did was I took those abandoned orders and I processed them on this, program. So I did the refund from the online orders and I put it on a gift card. And after I put it on a gift card, I went to the register and I took that refunded money and put it in my debit card.
Okay, so you essentially refunded the money to a gift card and then cashed out that gift card going to your bank account. Approximately $3,852.25. How did you come up with that total?
So I believe I did it, 6 times on that same process.
Over the past how long?
3 weeks.
6 times in total? And it says you are willing to pay it back?
Yes.
I've done this due to the fear of getting evicted from my home. What's going on there?
So what happened was I was in a car accident, I want to say May 24th, 23rd, end of May. And it resulted in a total loss of money. And because of that car accident, our insurance raised up to $2,100.
Wow.
Also, because I didn't have a car, I had to pay every week for a rental car so I can come to work. And on top of that, we also had to pay rent, which is $2,400. It's only me and my dad working. And so, because we were so short on money, we didn't have enough to pay the house.
You used the gift card separately to purchase an iPad and AirPods. It's not included in the refund. What do you mean by that? You used that cycle that you used to put it on a gift card, and then instead of taking the gift card money and putting it in your debit, you just went and ordered.
So, with the iPad and the AirPods, all I knew at the time was to put the funds in a gift card, and that was it.
Okay.
And so I just used it to purchase an iPad and AirPods for my sister's birthday.
Your sister got the iPad and AirPods?
I have the iPad, she has the AirPods.
Okay. So you started doing this because of rent to help your parents out so you guys don't get evicted. Then sister's birthday came up and said, hey, let me do it again, and then I'll get her the AirPods, and you kept the iPad. Did you need the iPad? Like, were you going?
I was going to use it for work.
For work? I currently have a gift card that has $900 in it. So this is the gift card that you used to purchase the AirPod and
It was
the iPad?
So I did have another card before.
The $928.40 is the current available balance? Wow. Seems like you are sorry for what you did. But you are willing to pay it back.
I can pay it today.
You can pay it today?
I have savings.
You have savings? Just to wrap it all up, you stole numerous times throughout August
Let's
and
say September.
Even though you had the money in the account, in the savings account.
No, my savings, that was money I've been saving for my paycheck.
No, but
over the course of time.
But what I'm saying, I'm just trying to put the logic. So, because if you're stealing from here, you didn't have the funds. Or you already had the funds, you just didn't want to touch your savings.
I don't want to touch my savings.
So if your parents were like, hey, I need money, you could have gone into your savings and pulled out some money.
I didn't want to because it took me a long time to build up that savings. The savings I have now, before, it took me like, I want to say 2 years to build the savings I have now.
Okay.
But before I had completely nothing. Because I keep giving money to my parents over and over and I'm always left with nothing. And I got sick of it.
Okay.
So then I tell myself that this time I don't want to lose my savings because I want to be able to get out.
Okay. How did you come up with this system? That's pretty creative to go online, look up old orders, refund them back to yourself as a gift card. Like, how'd you come up with that? Somebody else teach you this? Did you just think outside the box? Huh? What do you think? What's going on?
I can't say.
Can't say? Please feel free to say whatever you want.
I was taught.
You were taught? Okay. That's somebody that works here?
She no longer works here. I told her about my financial situation, so she told me about this.
And she did this prior? Did she get caught? She did? And that's why they let her go?
Yeah.
Did she get arrested?
I don't know.
But she was like, hey, this is a good idea. Even though she got caught? It's kind of weird.
I did have second thoughts. I was just like, is this right? And then she was like, it's a banned order, so it won't go against you. So I trusted her knowledge.
Where is the iPad now? And AirPods.
In my house.
In your house? I'll give you a call earlier in the morning. Grab the iPad. Grab the headphones.
Wait, so do I wait or do I start leaving?
You have been free to go this entire time.
Oh.
It's just an investigation,
I
so...
thought I had to wait. Oh.
Yeah, you're not detained. You're not under custody. And we're at your work.
Okay.
So I appreciate you sticking around answering those questions. So I'll talk to him here on the phone. Honestly, provided everything. She was not lying about anything as much as I could tell.
Right.
Very honest. She's willing to pay back the money. The investigation's still ongoing, of course. That's why she was able to walk out of here.
Yes. So the one thing I'm not sure she told you is, like, it was her. Like, the same thing happened at the Gardens campus, Palm Beach Gardens campus. So the three of them were all doing the same thing.
Three of them.
So there was two people we terminated.
So she did tell me that as well.
Okay.
She said that she was taught
by Alessia, probably.
She didn't say the name,
Yeah,
but
it was Alessia.
and she got arrested.
She didn't because she paid restitution right away. She paid it in full that day. So the only reason we're prosecuting this was the dollar amount, and then she's unable to pay the restitution today.
So she said she would pay it all today.
And we could do that. I mean, I can get Terrence back on the phone or give him a call. Because she told Terrence that she wasn't able to pay for it.
I don't know if she's able to or not. She just said she would.
Right. Well, she said in the statement she's willing to pay it back, but she told Terrence that she couldn't pay it all today.
Okay.
So, and that's why he said we had to prosecute, because it's kind of like he said there was a certain level of that where it's automatically prosecute if they don't pay.
So I'm going to have her meet me tomorrow with the iPad and the AirPods.
Okay.
So I can return those to... So you don't have the box for this one? Okay, so basically where we're at. You know what you did. You're gonna have to go to jail for it. Okay? Okay? You don't have any priors, right? You've never been arrested. Your charges are gonna be felony grand theft. That's over $3,000. And scheme to defraud. Honestly, that's not up to me. But since you have no priors, I've seen people leave within an hour. Okay?
So I have to pay me.
You have funds. You can more likely bail yourself out.
How much do I have to pay?
That's to get all that out when you.
Come on, young lady. You want to put it in your bag here, or we move it out when you get downstairs?
Nobody's judging you.
Okay.
So what do you think about that one? Interesting that someone gets sucked in and does something so silly. When you have the money, you still go out and steal. That's a hard one for me to deal with. All right, we have two laws that play here today. This is in Florida. We have theft, well actually grand theft, and we have a scheme to defraud. Now the first, grand theft. Now this is found at the Florida statute section 812.014. It's defined as knowingly obtaining or using or attempting to obtain or use the property of another person or another entity with the intent to deprive them of it. For grand theft, more than $750 must be at play and less than $20,000. That's where we're at right here, because this is third degree grand theft. Now this is punishable by the 555 in Florida. Up to 5 years in prison, maybe you'll get 5 years of probation, a fine of $5,000. Here, the store manager, this woman that we were dealing with all this video, she's the store manager of whatever type of store this is. I'm not sure, but we know they sell iPads there and AirPods. They have gift cards. So it's some type of store that does all that kind of business. But here she signed a statement. She had transaction logs, she had security footage showing that she took these abandoned orders and she refunded them to gift cards and transferred that money to her own personal accounts. Now the store is saying they lost over $5,275. Now that's clearly a felony threshold. Now even if they go with the number she went with, which is $3,852.25, that's still above the threshold for grand theft, a felony level offense. All right, so next let's move up to our next one. A scheme to defraud. Now this is found at the Florida statute section 817.034. This is defined as any planned, systematic, ongoing course of conduct that has an intent to defraud or obtain property by some false pretense, whether it be through representations or promises that in the end are not true and do not come to fruition. Now this is a third degree felony, and as long as we're talking about less than $20,000, it will remain a third degree felony. It carries the same penalty as above, 555. Now it's important to realize that this was not just a first time she did this and was caught. She says and admits to 6 times doing this and profiting $3,800. She would have to take at least $600 every time that she went to steal. And she's been doing this only over 3 weeks' time. That's a lot of money to take in 3 weeks' time. But anyways, all that shows a plan, it shows intent, it shows deliberate effort, all to conceal the theft that she was doing. Now she's caught in the end, she's willing to tell the truth about it, but man, that's not how crimes and punishment work. Let's move into our evidentiary standards next, and let's see how they play out in this situation. These evidentiary standards help us understand each step in the legal process, from an officer's decision to detain a person, all the way to a prosecutor's decision to charge and the jury's decision to convict. Let's start at the lowest, mere suspicion. This is simply a gut feeling, and this is when the government or the police don't really have any solid facts just yet. They're working purely on intuition. They saw something that just caused them to pay closer attention. Here, a co-worker noticing she suddenly had expensive electronics without explanation. A new iPad. Now, that's just could be nothing. There's no solid proof yet to point toward anything. All right, let's move up one more. Reasonable suspicion. Now, at this level, the government and the police have gathered enough specific facts suggesting that criminal activity is afoot, meaning that criminal activity is happening right now or about to happen. A good example is the store reports. Now, they're showing unusual numbers of refunds, and they're tied to one employee account. That raises suspicion. That might be enough to call the police in to have them to detain someone. Now, especially after the district manager has already met with the store manager and gotten the whole of the story, yes, we definitely can call the police in at that point. But usually, if we have enough specific facts, that's enough for the government to come in, detain a person, and investigate further to see if there's enough to make an arrest. Now, moving up to the next level, probable cause. At this level, the government or the police can arrest someone, okay? This is when there's enough facts to reasonably believe a crime has occurred and the suspect is involved. So now they have the proper nexus between what they thought has happened, which is a crime, and they have a person that they can attach the crime to. Or at least they believe they have a person they can attach the crime to. Now remember, when we always talk about these different numbers of how much evidence is required, probable cause is met only at about 35%. All right, so we're not talking about a whole bunch of evidence here yet. All right, now sometimes they do have a bunch of evidence right out the bat, like certain things like when a person admits to doing a crime, then yes, all right, they're going beyond 35%. All right, but here, look, they have transaction dates, they have her login records, they have her own admission that she provided to the officer. All that will lead to an arrest. Now, if we move up another level, we have number 4, preponderance of the evidence. This means more likely than not, your claim is true. Now, this level is used for civil cases, when people like me and you are going to sue someone else for money. Hey, it can be because of a car accident, it can be because of a contract that was breached, anything. These types of cases require 51% of the evidence being in our favor to win our case. Or if someone brought the case against us, to have 51% in our favor to defeat the action. A good example is the store could show if they wanted to sue her for restitution. They could show through these documented refunds and her statements to prove liability that she did in fact convert their funds. Usually when you hear the word conversion or when someone converted something, that means to steal, but we're talking about in the civil realm. All right, moving up one more level, you have clear and convincing evidence. At this level, it means that it's highly probable and substantially likely that your claim is going to be true. Now, this level of evidence is required in certain administrative hearings. This may be the level required internally for this company when deciding to ban her from being able to be rehired. To win this type of case, it takes about 75% of the evidence being in your favor. Now here, they have all the detailed logs, the internal memos that were created, they have video evidence, they have her voluntary cooperation in returning the items first of all, and working with the manager and telling him about the scheme that she had going on. They'd probably be able to satisfy clear and convincing evidence if the store was going to go after this woman. Now she's agreed to pay back everything, so I don't think they are going to move forward like that. Number 6, beyond a reasonable doubt. Now this is the gold standard. This is the highest evidentiary standard required in the American justice system. This is used for every criminal case. So when a prosecutor brings an action, they have to satisfy beyond a reasonable doubt for every element of the charges brought. Now what does that mean? That simply means that there is no other logical conclusion besides the defendant being guilty of the charge that's brought. Here, a jury hearing the complete story of what happened here, seeing the paper trail, hearing her confession, and seeing the physical items that were purchased with this money. That might be enough to gain the conviction. All right, so next, let's go into our jury perspective and let's see how we would deal with this if we were on this jury. All right, imagine yourself sitting on this jury. Now remember, we're in Palm Beach County, so this might be a fairly big county. We have West Palm Beach, but we're in the small town of Belle Glade. Let's take a look at some of the evidence we have. First, we have the receipts and the store audit that was performed. You hear the calm explanation of how she did this crime. You learn that she had savings along with the action she took to take the money, and she didn't want to touch her savings. Now let me ask you, does this feel like desperation, or does it feel more like a calculated offense? We also get more of the story. We understand that she had been in the process of always giving her parents money, and it kept her always in a state of being broke. Then she decided to begin this course of action. Let's move into our intuition and let's use it for a moment. Does this feel like a mistake that was made under pressure, or was it more like a well thought out process that's been repeated multiple times? And remember, we're in that small town, 17,000 people. You can be assured that any verdict that you came to in a community this small, it won't just live on the court record. It's going to live on in the minds of the local people. That's pretty small. That kind of scheme is, people are going to remember that. She was worried about, will I be able to get another job? Maybe not in this small town. You might have to move to West Palm Beach, the bigger areas where people don't recall or remember what happened. Now, this isn't the worst crime in the world, but it sounds like y'all had a whole ring going on. 3 women involved in this. And I'm sure it probably all came from somebody learning from somewhere else also. All right, let's move into the conclusion and let you guys go. All right, this case is from Belle Glade, and it shows us how theft in a small community, it has the potential to leave a mark beyond sentencing. Now, I don't have the results of this case yet. It just happened last September. We haven't hit a year yet. All right, I don't know really what this woman's full name is, so I can't look her up to see if she took a plea. But employers are going to talk. Neighbors are going to remember, and that gossip chain of a small town is going to outlast any probation term. Legal penalties for grand theft and the scheme to defraud are serious enough. Up to 5 years in prison? She's probably going to get some probation. First time doing anything wrong, she'll probably be hit with the fine. She'll pay it back. She'll go on probation for about 5 years, maybe 3 years. She'll come off probation. They'll probably seal her record. But in a place where reputations can be made or broken in a single day, the social sentence, that might be just as damaging. All right, whether we're talking about a few dollars or a few thousand, crossing into fraud can turn your job into a criminal case, and your workplace, well, it becomes the crime scene. Now here in Belle Glade, the fallout won't be just in court, it's going to be in the community's memory. Like, share, subscribe. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy. I am Professor Ross. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
I'm so tired of these people stealing so many. Be sure to subscribe to Advocacy Alchemy and come back tomorrow at 8:45 for a new lecture.